G'day YouTube, my name's Lance and welcome to Bundy Bear's Shed. Well, what are we up to today? We haven't done anything in the shed this week. Judy and I have been away, and we went away down to Coonar Beach, went camping, and I did a little walk around with the camera while we're down there, and we took the collie. Look, the collie at the moment, not a thing wrong with it. It's just going great. We took it into some wild places, and look, where we went on the weekend, there's a sand track. You go off the dirt road onto sand, and because it's been so dry lately, the sand was just like powder. And the blokes with the big tyres, like I've got about 30-inch diameter tyres on my Colorado here, and because the blokes have been going through in the big patrols and that with their 35s, 33s, they chop the track up a bit, and they make the wheel ruts deep. So, and you can see there's bumps in there. You know, you'll come up and down these little bits and pieces where they've been powering out. And look, in those places there, she was that rough that we were coming down onto the sump guards and the guards under the K. And on soft sand you got to keep a bit of momentum up too, so you couldn't just walk through them. So you had to sort of go through. And about 3 times I think we hit the bottom, but. It was a great little camp we had, just on our own out in the bush near the beach, right on the edge of the beach, and it was great. We camped at Coonar National Park, which look, just Google it. It's part of the Bundy National Park network in Queensland, and when you see the point of Australia going up to the tip, about 2/3 of the way up, you'll see a little hook coming out. That's Fraser Island. And the bay in there, we were just inside that bay, which is, look, from Bundaberg here, it's 30 kilometres. It's not far to go, but it's a wild little track in. And an interesting point was, last time I went down, I thought, oh, well, yeah, the track wasn't too bad. And last time I went down, being soft sand, you have to let your tyres down. So I let my tyres down to 25 pound. And pounds per square inch, and off we went, and we tootled in, no worries at all. So I did the same this time. I had a bit of a load in the back. I've got to unpack today and wash the collie and get all the sand and that off. But at 25 pounds per square inch, when we went in to the first track on the left down to Palm Beach, that's a shit bit of track. It gets used a lot, and that's where we were bottoming out mainly. But we thought we'd turn right and go into the national park this time, and we took the first exit, and well, going into there, man, was it loose. And we were going along, and 4-wheel drive, I had the traction control disabled and the electronic stability control disabled, and yeah, traction control, I don't know if you know, I suppose you do, with traction control, once one wheel starts spinning a bit, well, it puts the brakes on the other and takes over the throttle, so you go from scooting along to the next thing, and you'll just dig you in. It's a shit thing on sand, but it's probably great on the bitumen and the gravel roads and that. But anyway, we went in, and some of these tracks, and you had no steering much. You were just following the track, and the tracks were probably so deep. And because we waited till Judy finished work, it was early afternoon before we could go down there. But anyway, we're going along, and we got in perhaps 100 metres or so, and got dry bogged. Just sat down there, and I thought, bloody thing. At 25, my tyres might be a bit high. Well, actually, I set them to 24, 23. Really, I thought I'd go a bit lower because I knew it would be dry. But anyway, I said to Judy, I'll stay in the aircon and I'll whiz out and drop the tyre pressures a bit. Well, to my surprise, my tyre pressures had gone from about 23 up to 30, 32, and look, that was a blue I'd made. By travelling the 20 k's, look, on the highway, the 80, 90 kilometre section is only about 5 kilometres long, but the heat generated in my tyres going down there had picked the pressure up. Now, if you look at the Cooper's tyre charts and all that, they say that the correct pressure, you know you got your tyres right for your load, when you set your pressure at say 30 pound, you get to where you're going, say you go for a 20-minute, half an hour drive, and you've increased 4 pounds per square inch. So anyway, I got down there and I'd picked up 8 pounds per square inch, and that's why I got bogged. So so we lost momentum, and I jumped out, dropped the tyres down to 15 pounds per square inch, and went to hop out, wouldn't go, couldn't get it out. And when I say couldn't go, you hop in, you have a go, and if it doesn't want to move, you try and go back. And if you're not going to get anywhere, don't dig yourself in well, just don't dig yourself in. You'll sit right down on the guts, and then you're in trouble. And so look, all we did was up on the top of the canopy there, we have a set of max tracks that I pulled off, and we just popped the max tracks down and popped up, no worries at all. And I just drove an extra 50 metres until I got up into a hard bit under a tree, and then went and got the max tracks again. So for those of you who don't know what the max tracks are, just hang on a second. Right, there you go. Now look, these aren't Max Tracks brand, they're Treads brand. Max Tracks in Australia are about $299, nearly $300 for a pair, for 2 1100mm or 1200mm tracks. The Treads brand that I have here are $100 cheaper at $199. And look, we've used them in anger twice. Once before to get Grumpy Dave out when we went to the beach one time, and this was the second time we've used them. They do get a little bit of wear on them when you use them. You can see the black there. That was from when Grumpy Dave come out on them. Yeah, when he got a bit bogged and we put him under, he upped it, and she boom, and then it shot out. And nephew Phil was in the back, and he reckons, holy shit, you could feel it. But the other day, I'll just grab the other one. The other day, yeah, I used these. You use these as a bit of a shovel and just get the sand out from under the wheel a little bit, just under the front, and poke them under the front wheels only. And yeah, you just start your wheels going, and it'll pull into this, and you'll feel it. And then once you get on here, you give her a little bit, and away you go. So the mighty Max Tracks, Treads, whatever you like to call them, saved the day. And then later, when we got to the campsite, we backed up to the beach, and the sand dune was a little bit high, so we used the Max Tracks and a couple of little wheel leveler things I take with me sometimes, so the head of the bed was up. And oh shit, it was a great place. I've taken a little bit of a walk around for you, and you'll see at the front of the Colorado where I've had these and the little yellow ramps, or caravan ramps I think they are, and for levelling it up. But look, it was a beautiful sight. So now comes cleaning, and it was a quick overnighter, and yeah, it's a fair bit of effort to go just for that, but that's work commitments. Just said that was how it was. So we've Judy's going to work today. It's Monday morning, so I'm cleaning the collie up. So yeah, I'll spend half a day or a few hours tidying it up. I'll give you a look under the engine bay. You just wouldn't believe where that bloody sand gets. It's sitting up on top of the battery and on top of the engine, and yeah, look, it's just everywhere. And well, that's how it goes when you have a day at the beach. But look, that's okay. We had great fun. The track we went in that we got bogged on, it was a rough old track, and every second corner you come around, there was deep sand, and you were working like the little ute was going. And it's got no problem going. I put a big intercooler in it, and it's big exhaust, and it's a tough thing. But anyway, coming out, we thought, I jumped on the GPS and I saw another little backtrack, and I thought, oh shit, I'll have a look at that. And so when we come out, I took a few right turns in the bush and come out across this. Oh look, the track was 10 times better. She was a bloody beauty. So that's the way we'll go in next time. But we also found coming home, we found another track that we didn't know was there, which we didn't have time to go down, but we're going to go down in a week or two and have a look. And then right down the end, because the track was so dry coming in, and we've been sort of battling for, look, we're only battling for about 2 or 3 miles in there, or 3 or 4 k's in there, and but it was hard going in the very soft sand. So we found a place that we liked, and we just pulled up there and had a camp. But yeah, look, we're going to go back for a look down the far end that we didn't get to. So we're going to take the canopy off the ute and go then. And with my ute canopy here, this is a canopy I made, and I made it out of 1.2 mil zinc. And that's a great thing. But that's my fridge slide, and where's the button? There it is. And you can see through the back of my voltmeter. That's sitting on 12.6 volts. It usually gets to 12.4 and it'll stay there for a couple of days. But there's still some beer in there. Part of the clean-up will be cleaning out the fridge. I'll look forward to that bit. I like to do a bit of housework, vacuum the fridge and all that sort of thing. Yeah. But we have this canopy here that I made, and what we're doing with it is we're going to get another one. I had a little folder and me MIG, and I folded all these seams, and I've got marine carpet. I don't know if you can see in there, but marine carpet has lined the whole thing, so you don't get that condensation. And we'd like to use the ute as a ute more with our business and things like that. So what we've done, I've contracted a bloke to make new aluminium toolboxes. So what the idea is where I have this second section here, so the fridge isn't in the bedroom. Looks like a bachelor pad, 2-room one, with all the shit in the bedroom, doesn't it? Anyway, that was tidy before we started coming home on the tracks. And so we're getting a new one made with this front box, instead of being 600, will be 700 wide, and it'll be a separate box on its own, and it will stay there. It'll have the deep cycle batteries in, it'll have the fridge and the air compressor and all that stuff for pumping the tyres up out in the scrub. And the second part, which is the back section here, the bedroom, it's getting made it's all out of our 2 mil aluminium, and the second part has got a jack-off system on, so when we want to use the ute as a ute, we'll have the front toolbox that will stay on at all times. It'll have a solar panel, 120 watt solar panel. We've bought a panel 3 mil deep, so we'll see how that goes. So we'll have the deep cycle batteries in the other side, the fridge, the solar panel, and there's room for a toolbox on the other side, and that will stay on the ute and won't come off. And then the back section, there's a kangaroo coming through there, and Kelly the dog will just love chasing that when I tell her about it. She likes to chase them out to the gutter, out to the fence line. But yeah, the back part of the ute, the bedroom section, it will jack off. We can drive the ute out from under it, and then we can use the ute at work as a ute more. At the moment, when I need to bring pallets home, I need to slide them in the back, because we get oil on pallets and parts on pallets. We slide them on the back, so slide them in there. So we'll be able to cut the sides down to a proper size and use it. So the new size will come up on the side of the toolbox here, and we'll be able to use it as a ute again, which is something that we've been wanting to do for a long time. And the other option it does for us is when we take the boat and we want to go to a dam or a river fishing or just scooting around, what we can do, a lot of places you don't really want to leave the boat in overnight for safety purposes. And with this setup, we would have to fold the awnings all up, close it all up, and away we go. Go and pick the boat up, then open and start camp up again. So the idea is that we can jack the camp area off. If we need to go and pick up the boat and all that, we can, and it won't be a problem. Yeah, we can leave the camp there, go and pick the boat up, bring it back to camp where it's safe, or you can do something to it. We'll still have the fridge and all that back with the ute at the camp. Then in the morning early, if we want to put the boat back in, well, we just take the boat down, and we haven't got to pack the camp up and do that. So it'll be a good thing. So so today I've got to clean all the ute up, which will take a fair while, and I'll start making it so that the canopy can come off. And I've sold this to a mate of mine. When I was talking about selling it, I told one fella, and he told another fella, and the fella rang me up straight away and said, look, I'll take that. He's camped with us and he's liked it. So yeah, so we've sold this one, and the new one will be here in a few weeks. So So maybe a few of our kangaroo stews coming up will be wiring it up, you know, hooking it up, and we're just buying the bare canopy with a wall inside already and a couple of shelves like I have on the other side here. And we've got to put the deep cycle batteries in, do the battery system, solar panels, all that sort of stuff. When the bedroom goes on, the back half will be a Anderson plug up the top that we just click in, and that'll give us power for lights to the back section. And I've already bought a lot of the stuff, and I've bought the lights and USB chargers and all that sort of thing. We have these power boxes that we have here. I have another one inside here, and we run 3 amp USB chargers for phones, iPads, and mainly phones. We don't have iPads, but our friends have iPads. They charge off it now and then. And as far as an electrical system on the back here, it's a good one. If we go camping with people and our friends have trouble keeping up with battery power for their fridges and all that, well, they just plug into ours, and we have plenty left to spare for a couple of fridges and that. So anyway, look, I'll just take you for a quick walk around the collie and just show you what we have here. I'll show you the sand under the bonnet, and I'll just show you for a quick walk. But I have taken some footage of our camp, like I said earlier, and you'll just see where we were. So won't be much work in the shed. It'll just be out here washing bloody cars. All right, catch you later, eh? Right, this is just a walk around the collie. That's our fridge slide that you've seen. That's all the junk from camping in the back. We've got a little cargo tray up there, and that's got a spare blanket and that sort of thing. We have the switch panel up here, and that gives us power for outside lights and things like that. It's all got fuses, built-in fuses into the switch panel. In here at the moment, I'll try and focus that. We're sitting at 4.5 volts. That's an angle plug and this light here, we put this one like that so it folds up and it puts light out onto the canopy. It's not a direct light, and it just lights an area better than getting in everyone's face. It's a good thing. This fella here, that's a retractable clothesline for Jude. We got the lights on the back. Got a camera that's just bloody rubbish. I'll come around here a bit further. That's just all the shit that's got to come out. The little compressor gets that hot after you pump your tyres back up on the side of the road to come home. I always worry about it buggering up, so I might update that. And this is just where we put a toolbox. Usually have a pig there where we can do our cooking and all that, but you can look down the side, the bloody dirt and shit you get when you go bush. But that's why we have a 4-wheel drive. And you can see bits of sand all up in the engine bay everywhere. On top of the ABS module. All on top of the battery everywhere. So that'll be this morning's job. Give her a big clean up. And away we go. Never a dull moment anyway, but it was great fun. Yeah, great fun going camping. It's really well worth it when you get there, and you can just sit back and have a beer and go and try and catch a fish. Didn't catch any fish, but that's all right. Got to feed. Someone's got to feed them, mate. Well, this is looking north from our campsite. We're camped up in the dunes, right up on the top of the bank. The tide's about an hour before going completely down, or completely out. And that's looking south, down towards Woodgate. Up there we got the boss putting sunscreen on. Bit of fishing. That fishing rod doesn't seem to work. I don't know what's going on there. Popped up at 3 o'clock for the high tide and chucked a few out, chucked a few pillies out, but yeah, something wrong with that fishing rod. Doesn't seem to bring anything home. The water in these little gutters here, it's that's where we were dropping the baits into last night. I don't know if the wind's going to muck you up or not, but that's where we were chucking pillies and that out into there. And so you can see up the bank up there, see the water mark? That's how high the tide was. So when I stand down in the bottom of when I stand in the water down here, that is about chest height, I suppose. So we had a bit of water, but anyway, I think that fishing rod's a dud. Like I said, something wrong with it. Yeah. I'll have to take it back to BCF one day and see if I can get a warranty or something. That's looking south towards Woodgate, and you can look for miles down there. Last night near the tip, a few other people down the bottom there. Last night near the tip you could see a couple of red lights, must have been beacons. Then when we come around, I'll try and go slow so you don't get dizzy and fall over, fall out of your chairs. That's Elliott Heads. And you can see the lights of Elliott Heads in the evening. Handheld's a bit hard for you, isn't it? But anyway. Too much focus lens. There you go, that's a bit better. But yeah, there's some campers a few hundred metres that way, and there's some campers probably half a K to the south. So yeah, doing it tough. That's why I'm not in the shed. And that's the other side. This is a collie that was playing up. It's been real good. We're just using a little gas burner this weekend, having a quick run in. Got the fridge, camping area, garbage bag, awnings, and just to level the bed up, we got them sitting up on a max track with a caravan leveler. So yeah, not much happening in Bundy Bear's shed, but I can put up with this for a weekend day. And this is the track in. Humps and hollers. Bit of sand driving up through the back there. It's quite deep up in there. That's a nice little track, not much happening there. But yeah, when we came in yesterday, this is a good bit of the track. We came in and the sump guard under the ute, it was that deep, some of these ruts from the cars with the really big tyres and wheels coming through, that our sump guards and that were just bottoming out. You'd come along for a bit and you'd see a couple of humps and hollers, and as you went down the bottom you could feel bang on the sump guard. So yeah, just lucky we have them.